Hello and welcome. It is that of the second day of February 2020. My name is Derek, and this is the Money Charts channel. And let's talk about giveaway for the Super Bowl, possible one anyway, as well as, mainly that, and just sports betting in particular, as the Super Bowl is coming into play. I'm just starting just a chart to show, but I'll switch the screen to that of a sporacovers.com. That's my favorite website to use for sports handicapping. So for this weekend, it's not going to be picking any of this spread or total or who's going to score a touchdown, but rather it's going to be like the Price is Right. How much will I be wagering on the Super Bowl? Now don't. This isn't the video to where you can post the answers if you want to. Whatever, they're not going to count here. I'll explain that further through the week. It'll probably be Friday. It'll be Saturday at some point when you'll be able to post how much it is, and then it would be Sunday where I will post the winner, and the winner will then look at the set. I'm not going to say how many because I don't want to give away any clues, but the amount of different lineups that I'm playing. I'll show my entire lineup card. And then you'll basically get a piece of the pie. And I think I'll give up to $5,000 if, of course, I win the million. And then anywhere up to around 1 to 10% along the way after that. So it works something in there for that of the Super Bowl. Football isn't my greatest game, so I'll explain more about how much I normally bet, which is right now I'm betting $200 to $300 per hockey game. That is my normal bet. And for hockey, I got 3 games I'm playing tomorrow because DraftKings, which is where I play, has 3 different games. It includes Buffalo versus the Islanders. I'm going to be looking at that game. Money line is minus 135. The over under 5.5. I like that game for me. I'm just thinking, I'd like to think this is where I like. Do I bet higher stakes? I've actually been very, very unlucky. I got the worst puck luck it seems in hockey. I'm actually found a way to counter that. I'm going to explain that. It's really cool. And then we got Dallas versus Columbus, Vancouver's in Montreal, Calgary's in Winnipeg, Arizona is in St. Louis. Carolina is in Chicago. We have Anaheim, Los Angeles. That's another game that I'm playing. I like that game too. And which other game did they give me? Was it Minnesota, Colorado as well? So those are the 3 games that on DraftKings I play showdowns on. So I'm going to focus on Buffalo versus the Islanders. Islanders come to this game with a record of 3-6. Buffalo 4-6. Islanders should be better than that. They pretty much have the same roster they had last year. It looks a little bit better. 1-6 on the road, but they're at home. Where the Islanders come in at 2-2 on the road. When you look at different things, you want to look at different goaltenders. Does it matter? Allmark and Hutton are the goalies for Buffalo. I don't think it makes much of a difference overall. And for the Islanders, it shouldn't make... Well, they lost one of their 2 goalies in the offseason, I think. But anyway, the Buffalo Sabres coming off a loss to New Jersey 5-3. They beat New Jersey 4-3. Rangers are just a bad team, and they split 2 games against them. Washington, a very good team. They split against them. I love these 2-game series too. And Buffalo, Philadelphia, they've been splitting a lot of those series. They're probably playing back-to-back. I'm not sure. But losing 2 in a row to Philly. They've lost 4 in a row, this Islanders team. And the amount of rest that they have for this, 1 day off. Look at different things like shots and goals. So shot average, Buffalo shot average is 32 to 30. Islanders 29 to 27. And when you look at these goals, 4.77 and 5.9. 5.9 is, I don't know. I should be doing better than this. I don't know what the league average in goals is. It's not that hard to do. I could copy and paste and just put a few things in a spreadsheet. It'll come in, or do a Google search. But why I'm saying that is 5.9. This type of team isn't a high scoring team, and the Islanders are playing all of these low scoring games. So this does this, and I hate going under 5.5, but if they keep doing it, we got a game. If you look at 5.5 in here, over, under, of course, and under. Buffalo, over, under, over, under. We have an over, an under, and an over. Jack Eichel, that Jack Eichel's playing really good too. And then you can look at different periods. First period, Buffalo's average period is 0.5 to 0.9. We're here for the Islanders. They have higher scoring periods. They score more goals in the first. They have a hard time scoring in the second and in the third. And in the third period, they're just not allowing much at all. I don't think there's really much to go on with this. As far as, let's take a look at some other games. In fact, the ones that I'm focusing on, because I'll be putting $200 on each of these games, a little over $220 or so, $230. And we have Anaheim versus the Los Angeles Kings. Anaheim coming in this game with a 3-7 record. On the road, 1-3. These are two garbage teams as far as I'm concerned, but someone's got to win. If it's two garbage teams or two amazing teams, it's evenly matched either way. 3-5 for the Los Angeles Kings, 1-3 at home. Okay, so when we look at how the Ducks have been doing, these are the type of games that Ducks and Kings are just like the West Coast, blah, put you to sleep, hockey, under the games, loving. You want to lay a goal and a half because no, in these games I don't look to lay in Anaheim and LA are the teams that, I mean, I see St. Louis wins multiple goals here and here, but not there, and not here as well, not here or here or here or here. A lot of one-goal games compared to the league average with Anaheim and LA type teams. As far as the over-under is concerned, we have a 5, we have a 5, we have a 1, we have a 4, we have a 5, a 1, a 3, and a 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, quite a few of these games under that 5.5 number. For the Los Angeles Kings, 5-3, 2-1. We have 1, 2. Now they started off with some decent scoring too. They lost twice to Mini, 4-3, 3-2 to Colorado. Colorado's more of an over team too, so that's pretty impressive that they kept it. 5 + 6 is 11, 5.5 average over 2 games. St. Louis, more of a defensive team, as I guess Minnesota sort of, but lower scoring nonetheless. I'd have to look at the analysis here. What we got for shots? Anaheim only averaging 23.8 shots a game. How have they been doing lately for that? Obviously, it's probably poor. 26, 24, 16, 24. They're just having a difficult time getting shots to the net. Defensively, they allowed 23 before that. They did allow, they're allowing over 30 usually. The Kings last year got a lot of lazy shots. They were one of the league leaders in shots last season. 35, but there's a low number here. And they're not defensively. These guys are relatively average, I suppose. As far as the periods are concerned, the Kings struggled in the first period, allowing 1.25 goals allowed. So another possible way is looking at playing the Ducks in the first period and covering their spread. They just seem to always get off to difficult starts, I suppose. And let's take a look at the Colorado game next. Nathan MacKinnon, I think, is a game time decision, but it looks like he's more probable to questionable. I don't know. He is questionable, but Colorado should be one of the better teams in the league, and they haven't been as impressive, but 6-4 record. That's what Minnesota has as well. 3-1 on the road for Minnesota, 3-1 at home for Colorado. Nazem Kadri it's really been that one-line show. Donskoy's been okay, I suppose. It's been the one line of Rantanen, McKinnon, and McKinnon, Rantanen, and Landeskog. Minnesota, Kiprasov. He's got a nice rookie there. Not too many young guys I'm going to know the names of. He's probably the only rookie that I know the name of. Actually, I can't say that because in the Rangers you got Frenier. Minnesota 4-3 over Colorado. So this is a rematch. So I got to watch highlights of this game now for sure. So what all? Oh, they played. This is their third game. I watched both of these games. See what I do, and this is what I like about the back-to-backs as well, is I'll Google search Minnesota, Colorado, Jan 31, Jan 30. I'll watch the 8-9 minute game that's on the internet. So I'll do that, and I'll get stuff that I can on. Those are different the good techniques in helping. And then just look at different things. Now, for me, as a fantasy perspective, I'm going to be looking at individual players that work together and stuff like that, and how this is going to work in situational analysis more than anything, because that's really what it comes down to more than anything. As far as production's concerned, Minnesota's offense and defense, nothing too pretty standard. Colorado's got some. They're getting a decent amount of shots. They only got 25 against Minnesota in the last game. That included overtime too. I don't know how long overtime was, but defensively, 14 shots allowed against. I mean Anaheim. Yeah, that was that. And then 21 against San Jose. 20 against Minnesota. 33 against Minnesota. So they rebounded from that one pretty well. So statistically, both teams get off to decent first period starts, averaging a goal in the period. But Colorado averages 1.1, 1.2. They get it done in every period. So there really isn't statistically too much on this. Let me take a look at anything else on the other games. See if I can just see a thing quickly. Dallas, Columbus, 5 goal over under. Are you serious? This is like old school. I can remember, what was it, 4 goals or 3? I don't know. It was the Stanley Cup Finals between Anaheim and New Jersey, 2004. That was like the low. So it's like watching stocks at highs and lows. I'm like, that was like the. And I remember betting under. I think it was like 4.5 or 4 goals or something. It might have been 4, and it won. It was a 2-1 final. It was sick. 5 goals over under, crazy. Okay, Columbus is at home. They've won all 4 home games. Now, is Patrick Laine going to be playing in this game? They just traded for him. That's a big deal if he is. Dallas on the road, 2-4. What's the money line on this again? Do we have it on here? The old covers used to have it really easy. I like the old layout a little bit better, although there's a couple things I like on this. So Dallas 4-3, 4-1, 7. Really choppy up and down scores. Only 11 shots they got this game. That is sad. That's just terrible. Defensively, like 26-23, I mean, low. They allowed a lot against Carolina. And they allowed a decent amount against Nashville. And they got a shutout in that game, too, which is impressive. Tampa Bay's a good team. They got great offensive players. And Columbus beating up on... Actually, they lost to Chicago. Wow, a pissed off possible comeback. They beat Florida. And I think Florida's a good team. A split back-to-back split. They split a good Tampa team and Detroit. This team, when they had Gordie Howe, they were fantastic. That was a long time ago. They're terrible now, though. And they split them. Dallas averaging 0.33 goals in the first period and 0.67 allowed. Columbus, right off the bat, this is something you can look at, see. First period spread. Take Columbus to win the first period right there. What else? And then look at the second period for Columbus. A little bit lower scoring. And you know what? If you're betting live, when the first period is over, if you can find a way to bet the second period for Dallas, or just bet on Dallas after the first period is over in a live bet. And I'm going to talk about that again as my counter to my horrible puck luck that I got. It's kind of laughable in the fact that, well, if I wasn't so unlucky, I'd be winning a lot. But one thing that I noticed in last year's season, and it's just most sickly happening again, is when I got unlucky, I would either not lose or barely win. And when I win, I would win. So I win, then break even, and I would win a lot. And so far this season, that's exactly happening. At one point, I was up close to $2,000, but now I'm up like 1,200. So I've lost 1,300. So I've lost a little bit of like 600, 700, 800 in the last several days. But I'm in position when I'm either in this game, you're either positioned to be lucky or unlucky. If I'm in position to be unlucky, that means I don't need anything to happen. I don't need bad things to happen. And when I'm in position, I need to be lucky. That means I'm not doing good. I need something to happen to win. So in the last 10, 12, 13 times when I've been in position to be unlucky, 100% of the times I've been unlucky. And only once when I've been in the position to be lucky, I've been lucky. And which was after I was unlucky. That was the... I'll explain. Yeah, actually, that game where I was in position to be. Oh, that was a sick game. It was Buffalo versus New Jersey. The last time they played, that was a sick game. This game here. There was a major price differential. There was a lot of advanced things that happened. That if New Jersey could take this game down for me, it is so amazing. But I prefer lower scoring games and higher scoring games. And of course, this is higher scoring. McLeod from Subban and Murray, nothing too fantastic. Johansson from Bratton Smith. You know what? That was really good, actually. Yeah, okay, I'm in great shape now. If New Jersey can win with and they only with 0-1 and even 2 goals allowed, I'm probably going to win. And especially if I get some nice goals from New Jersey later on, and I probably should at this point, I'm in really good shape. So I'm in position where I need to be unlucky at this point. And I'm hedging right now after this period is over. Buffalo scores. No, I mean, I was currently winning like $1,000. Now I'm like barely winning. But my hedge bets are starting to come through because I didn't want Buffalo scoring. But then this goal by Wood was just fantastic. Now I'm doing okay. But Ristolainen scoring wasn't good. And then McLeod and Wood coming in, this is where I got lucky, especially these 2 goals. These 2 goals meant a lot for me. And I got some wins. But, of course, I've already given all those games back in the last since this game has been over because I've been unlucky every game since. But I've been unlucky in like 4 or 5 games to give back one day's wins back. That's what's so fantastic when you get mega wins, which was what this game had. And what I've done is I've managed to build up a bankroll up to 581. But I'm not going to I can't push this withdrawal button successfully for a while because you got to know how this game works. And if you ever take these bonuses, and I know what I was doing when I took this, and you take and there was like 5-6 different options I could take. I put a $300 deposit in, and I received a $300 instant bet bonus. So as it works is if I make a bet, if it wins, I get what I would win. So if I bet $20 to win or 22 to win 20, if it wins, I'd win that 20. If it loses, I would if it wins or loses, I lose my 22 bet anyway. So you're basically, if you can get half of them right, you'd get like $450 or $150 free. And even before I've been losing a bit overall in poker, I'm probably a bit down because I've lost, especially because I played 2 tournaments that got me busted. So yeah, for sure, I'm down a bit in poker. I've made a few bets I think I'm doing okay on, but the last few days this has gone up high because I keep on getting unlucky, and I'm just whatever hurts me is how I'm going to bet, because if I'm going to get bad puck luck, then at least I should get it countered here. As that is the plan. But I got to make like $8,000. I've done 1,000 of them already worth of bets in order to be able to withdraw. So you got to realize if you're going to do it, you got to make are you going to do high volume? And I can definitely do that. And this is an example of the things in which you can bet. And when stuff's going on, they'll lock it up. But you can do things like bet point spread. So if I think, oh my goodness, if this team scores 4 goals, that's going to be bad, I'll bet over. And I was doing different bets earlier on, like Buffalo Sabres over 1.5 goals, over 2.5 goals. Next goal to be the New Jersey Devils. Maybe if the Devils win, if a particular team is going to hurt me, then I can bet that side. And I'm not, if it's a bad price for the most part, I'm not going to really care too much, because it's nothing more than a hedge account for myself. As I bring this now back to covers, I had full intention of just trying to go out there and grinding 100 picks, see what I can do while I continue on my grind with fantasy hockey. But instead, I thought, you know what, just like I think, stand right here, I'll use it as a decent size hedging, because if I get to the stage where I'll do, well, last year I did make it like a several $100 hedging bet in a hockey game. It was at a different site, but I ended up making, I was winning thousands basically, and I was betting higher stakes in last year's Stanley Cup Finals and playoffs. But it was at a spot where if the Dallas scores, unless it was Jamie Alexiak and maybe a couple others, I was in bad shape if the Dallas Stars scored. So I put a big bet for them to score a goal in the third period. It lost. I lost several hundred after I won several thousand, because it was a hedge. But if, of course, they would have scored, I don't know if I would have won. Unless Alexiak scored, I probably would have won several hundred, or maybe I would have broke even or lost a bit, which is why I made that kind of wagers, just in case. But then I was watching that game hoping, okay, come on, let's find a way of winning both. And I'm actually doing that now oftentimes more than anything. So, yeah, Kansas City versus Tampa Bay on the Super Bowl. It's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I guess, at the Kansas City is a designated home team. So I guess Tampa Bay is the road team in Tampa Bay. But no, they're at home, of course, at least. But which locker room are they going to get? Do they get the visitors? I think they'd have to. But anyway, with that being said, Tom Brady, 6-3 in Super Bowls. In, 20 years. He started, his first season was 2001, 2002. So he's finishing off the 21. So this is his 20th season in the league. And one season kind of doesn't count because he got injured in the first game. So he goes to Super Bowl half the time. And then when he goes to Super Bowl, he wins them 2/3 of the time. He has beaten great quarterbacks like St. Louis quarterback Kurt Warner, Donovan McNabb. He beat the likes of a few other guys anyway. He lost to Eli Manning twice, though. And then we have last year's Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes. As it goes, I mean, I was growing up within the debate of who the greatest quarterback was. I mean, Joe Montana had all the Super Bowl rings and pretty decent stats to go with it. Yeah, I know Dan Marino and John Elway and all those guys have the statistics. But I mean, Joe Montana is the guy. They didn't use the word GOAT back then, but he would have been the guy who set the bar for that. But if he set the bar because of all the championships that he won, and Joe Montana had a Super Bowl record of 3-0, I think. 3 Super Bowls. He beat Denver. He beat Cincinnati twice. Yeah, so pretty good. And then some great situational things here and there. Yeah, but now 6-3 in the Super Bowl. I mean, that kind of does trump that record. And it's going to be 6-4 or 7-3 after Sunday is done. But who are the next in line? And Patrick Mahomes has got a lot more to do to get to it. Because when Tom Brady finished off his fourth season, he had 3 championships after 4 seasons. So it's going to be a very, very interesting matchup because of that. Travis Kelce has been the guy that just consistently has been he's tough. And then Tyreek Hill with his speed, his ability, he's just tough to cover. And when he goes off, he can go off big too. So therefore, we are looking. I don't know what else to. Tampa Bay has done very good at. We've won every game since December the 13th. That's 8 in a row. Now, Kansas City's been winning a lot of close games every week. I mean, they finally won by multiple scores against Buffalo last week, but Cleveland 22-17. Lose to the Chargers by 17. Falcons they beat by 3. The Saints they beat by 3. Dolphins they beat by 5. The Broncos they won by 6. Tampa they won by 3. Vegas by 4. And then Carolina by 2. So they find ways of winning all these games. And last year in the playoffs, they found ways of getting destroyed to start the game and then trying to find a way to come back in every single playoff game. I think if there was any way to play it right now, it might be and I hate to say the square play. Every time you say the over, it just seems that way. But I'm not going to bet any sides. I'm not going to bet any totals. I'm not going to be betting any proposition bets. It's all going to be DraftKings Showdown. As I'm going to be in the Millionaire Maker. Again, that'll be part of the contest. The most I could win is $1 million. And I'll give details on the contest, probably to like X% to a max of 5,000 in cryptocurrencies. I'll be the cryptocurrency of your choice. It'll be a minimum of as long as I like make something, I'll be like 10% of what I make, up to like a minimum of like 20 or something. Probably something in that nature there. Well, thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.